Again, welcome. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. If you've been here before, thanks for stopping by. Anyway, this is a quick rebuttal. I posted a video about revisiting the past or something like that. And I got a lot of flack on that from a couple of friends of mine. One named Alan, who is a baseball savant, and why he's not the general manager of a major league team, I will never understand. And other people, and I take all the comments in good spirit. I just wanted to explain a little further. The world today is a very scary place, especially when you have advanced years, having medical issues and being alone as I am. I'm sure there are probably millions of people just like me out there, maybe better looking, but facing the same bunch of dilemmas that I am on a day-to-day basis. My answer is, I am not living in the past. I know what day it is. I function every day. I do a little bit of business almost every day, hopefully. I'm still a tech influencer, I guess you'd say. I fix a lot of laptops. I buy a lot of stuff. I sell a lot of stuff. I don't know if that makes me an influencer, but I would like to be one. I answer any number of questions from friends and family, of others. As anybody that asks me a question about tech, if I can answer it, I do it. I've worked for the Geek Squad. I've worked for Samsung. I've done all of these things. I'm pretty good at tech. I'm a baseball fan. I was a working musician, mostly as a drummer for 40 plus years, playing private parties, conventions, whatnot. You know all of that. But the flack I'm getting about living in the past, I did want to address, because the stuff that's going on in the world today can drive you crazy. Now, you could probably say the same thing 40 years ago, but I didn't notice it 40 years ago because I was in my 30s and I barely knew the world. So now I know a little more about the world. So why do I live in the past? Well, I don't. But what I do enjoy doing is sitting in a quiet place like I am right now, in a park that I've been at many times that I enjoy. And I'll sit back and I'll think about something that was very pleasurable 20, 30, 40 years ago. Whether it be something that occurred to me at work, or something that I did on my own, whatever the case may be. For instance, around New Year's Eve, probably in 1986, my New Year's Eve job that I was supposed to play got canceled because there was a fire in the place and they couldn't rebook another place or something like that. They called the band leader, they said, we're going to pay you, X number percentage, you guys have the night off. Coincidentally, around that time, I got a call from a friend of mine that was working at Budget Rent-A-Car at the Lauderdale Airport. He said, Stan, you've been wanting a Porsche. We got one in, brand new, it's a 944. You want it? I said, sure. I said, let's work out a deal. I did. And he gave it to me for the weekend. Now, that was the weekend I was supposed to be working. I was off. I drove it around. I had time in my life. Even with my ex-wife, I had a good time. So, I mean, it was just something special. Now, for me not to revisit something like that and dwell on the crap that I see on CNN or MSNBC or Fox or wherever, I'd be crazy. So this is my little vacation for an hour, half hour, whatever, to the past. I think this is probably the same reason people go to Disney World or Epcot or whatever the current version of it is. They want a little diversion from the day-to-day. And I can understand that. And, I have any number of them that I can visit on in my life that I've enjoyed. I could visit on the ones I didn't enjoy, but I'm not a masochist and I'm not an idiot. But there's any number of those. Unfortunately, I can remember more of those than of the really good ones. But I do remember both because I have a fairly good memory for the past. My short-term memory and my current memory is suffering with age. This is just, it's not an excuse or anything because I don't feel I need to make an excuse. I just want to use it as a piece of information. Another piece of information, like first time we had a closing on my first home that I bought with my ex. It was a big day. I think about stuff like that. I never had children. We couldn't have children. It probably wasn't the worst thing in the world because my wife had a lot of medical issues and her pregnancy would have been very tough. So we never had. And our marriage was always kind of screwed up. So I didn't pursue adoption, although maybe I should have. Like I said, I have any number of negative things I can dwell on, but I choose to focus on some of the successes I've had And I would encourage you to do likewise. Find a nice, comfortable place. Get away from anything or anybody that's bothering you. Sit down or walk around or whatever the case may be and think about something good. It can brighten up your whole day. Just a piece of information that I hope you enjoyed. See you again soon. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend if you're not of the age. Have a good day, folks.